Hello everyone, myself Sowmya, Assistant Professor in CSE AIML Department, MLR Institute of Technology. So in this video, we are going to discuss about jQuery elements and changing and setting the elements. So in the previous video, we have seen what are the different methods we can use with the jQuery elements like attribute, text, HTML. So using the same methods, how we can update the elements, in this video we are going to discuss. Coming to the overview of this presentation, so in this video we are going to discuss about how to set the content, how to set the attributes, and we will also discuss some examples. So first one is how to setting the contents of the jQuery elements. So in the previous video we have discussed about these three methods. The first method is text method, HTML method and val method. So we know the text method will return the text. Text is present with the associated with a particular HTML element. And coming to the HTML method, it will give the HTML content also. Along with the text, it will also give the HTML content. And next, val method will return the value associated with the HTML element. So using the same methods, how to change the elements, that we are going to discuss in this video. So we'll see one example here. So we know this is common for every jQuery application to use the libraries of your jQuery. And we know like this code I want to execute whenever the document is ready. So we have seen in the previous video how to write the jQuery application. So whenever our document is ready, then at that time I want to apply this function. So what is this function is doing? So whenever you click on a button, so it might be a button. So a button with the ID btn1. So I'm saying ID here. So why? Because I'm using hash symbol here. Hash indicates ID. So the element which is having the ID as btn1, whenever you click on this element, you're going to execute some function. What is this function? You are setting the text. You're setting the text to hello world. I don't know the previous text. The previous element, the previous text of this element may be empty or it might contain some other text, but I'm updating it to hello world. But which element you are updating? The element which is having the ID as test1. So the element which is having the ID as test1, that element text you're changing to hello world. And now we have another button here. So btn2. Whenever I click on this button, I'm executing this function. What is this function? I'm changing the HTML content now. In the previous thing, we have changed the text here. So now I'm changing the HTML content. So I'm changing this HTML content to hello world. So which element text, HTML content you're changing? The element which is having the ID as test2. And this is about the second button. And now I have button 3. Whenever I click on this button, this function I'm executing. What is this function? So this function is changing the value of the element which is having the ID as test3. One element is having a value something, that existing value I'm updating to dolly duck. So whenever you click on this button 3. So what is this element ID? This element ID is test3. So in this video we are discussing all the three. Right. So now coming to the body part of this. So in the body section, I have three paragraphs we have, right? So 3 buttons we have. In the 3 paragraphs, the first content is this is paragraph, but the ID is test1. And the second paragraph is this is another paragraph, but the ID is test2. And coming to the third paragraph, here I am creating a text field. For this, the ID is test3 and the value is Mickey Mouse. So we have 3 different elements here. For the first one, the ID is test1. The second one test2 and the third one test3. So whenever you click on the first button, so this will be changed. Whenever you click on the second button, test2 will be changed. Whenever you click on the third button, the test3 will be changed. So I'm creating the corresponding 3 buttons also. So button 1, button 2, button 3. So the name of these buttons are set text, set HTML, set value. So the output I'll get this. If I click on the set text, the first value will be changed. If I click on the second button, the second value will be changed. And if I click on this third one, this corresponding third value will be changed. So we'll try to execute this program and check the output. So I'm getting the output. So if I click on the first button, the first line of text is changing to hello world. If I click on the second one, the second line of text is changing to hello world, but it is in bold. So the bold tag I have given in the HTML tags itself. So to apply that HTML tags, what is the method you're using? HTML. If I use the text method, only the text will be updated. If I write any HTML tags within that text, that will not be applied. But to apply that HTML tags, I need to use the HTML method. And if I click on this third button, see the Mickey Mouse value is changing to Dolly Duck. So set value, the third button is used to change the value of the HTML element. So now how to change the attribute values. So now in this program, we are going to change the attribute value. So this is the common code for all the jQuery applications. So now I want to execute this code whenever our document is ready. So whenever this document is ready, and when you click on this button, so here I'm directly using the button tag name. So I'm not using any ID or class name here. If I specify simply the tag name, it will be a tag name, element name. So button, whenever I click on this button, so this function will be executed. What is this function? This function is using attribute method, ATTR, attribute method. So what this attribute method will do, it will update the attribute. So which attribute it is updating? href attribute it is updating. So I don't know the previous href value here, but I'm updating this value to mlrit.ac.in/AIML department. So now which attribute, which element attribute it will change? The element which is having the ID as MLRIT. So we will see what is the element which is having this ID MLRIT. So in the body section here, I have an anchor tag. So what is the href value of anchor tag? mlrit.ac.in. That means it is a home page. And what is the ID of this element? MLRIT. So I am going to change the href value of this element whenever I click on this button. So if I don't click on this button, directly it will open the MLRIT website. But after clicking on this button, it will open the AML page of MLR Institute of Technology. So that is the program. So here this is the output I'll get. So this is the output I'm getting. So if I click on this button, the internal value of this anchor tag will be changed. So initially what is the value of this? mlrit.ac.in. If I simply click on it, it will open the MLRIT home page. But after clicking on this button, if I open the same link, it will open the AML page. So that we will see in the output. So simply I'm clicking on this href, then it is opening the MLRIT website. So I'm just going back and I'm clicking on this button. After clicking the button, now I'm opening the same href. So now it is opening the AML page of MLR Institute of Technology. So what happens here? Whenever I click on this button, the internal href value of this attribute have been changed. So that's why it is opening the new page. So that's the use of attribute method. Using ATTR method, you can change the attribute value of a particular element. So in this video, we have seen how to manipulate the jQuery element. So in the previous video, we have described all these methods, just to access the content. But in this video, we have modified the existing element values using the HTML method, text method, val method and attribute method. We have also seen some example applications. Thank you.